Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. In a world that rewards noise, the Sigma male thrives in silence. He isn't afraid of being alone, he doesn't run from it. He walks straight into the void and uses the quiet as his crucible. While the rest of the world is consumed by distractions, dopamine loops, and performative lives, the Sigma male disconnects to reconstruct. He doesn't see solitude as emptiness. He sees it as freedom from interference. In a society obsessed with constant interaction, he chooses internal evolution. The longer he remains single, the more he reinvents, refines, and reprograms who he is, without compromise. Ascenders, you already know, this path isn't for the weak. It's for the ones willing to tear down everything they were told to be and build something sharper. This isn't about waiting for someone, it's about becoming someone no one is ready for. If you're here to level up in silence, subscribe to Sigma Ascends. This is your battlefield. Now, let's get into what solitude really does to a Sigma. 1. Mental fortress mode. When a Sigma male spends time alone, he doesn't get weaker, he builds walls no one can breach. Not emotional walls meant to push people away, but cognitive armor. He doesn't waste time overanalyzing text messages or chasing shallow validation. Instead, he's cultivating mental clarity. Solitude allows him to assess his thoughts without contamination. He sees where his weaknesses are, and rather than disguise them, he attacks them. In isolation, excuses vanish. He confronts the raw version of himself, the version most people never meet because they're too distracted to sit in silence. This is when the mental fortress starts taking shape. Discipline becomes natural. Focus becomes effortless. He stops reacting to the world and starts designing his own. While others are bouncing from one drama to the next, he's becoming unshakable. Life will throw chaos at him, but his mind is already trained to operate under pressure, in silence, without panic. He no longer negotiates with self-doubt. He doesn't need to talk through his issues with a dozen people. He solves them solo. His inner voice is louder than any crowd. His emotional intelligence gets sharper, not through endless talking, but through ruthless reflection. The Sigma male in fortress mode doesn't avoid pain. He studies it. He learns its triggers, its patterns, and turns it into a weapon. He redefines solitude from something to escape into something to weaponize. By the time he re-enters the world, he isn't seeking safety. He is the threat. 2. Echo reprogramming. Being single gives the Sigma male space to detox from cultural noise. Society has an echo chamber. It repeats the same ideas over and over. Chase status, find a partner, stay busy. But once the Sigma disconnects, he starts hearing the static. And then he starts replacing it. This is echo reprogramming. With no one whispering expectations in his ear, the Sigma builds a new internal script. He asks himself what he actually wants, not what he's been conditioned to want. This is a dangerous process. It unplugs him from societal norms and rewires his identity. He stops being reactive and becomes intentional. Every belief gets audited. Every goal gets recalibrated. He doesn't follow blueprints. He burns them and writes his own. The longer he's single, the deeper this reprogramming goes. He questions everything. Why do I want money? Why do I want love? Why do I value freedom? He's not afraid of these questions because he's not afraid of the answers. Most people distract themselves to avoid facing these voids. The Sigma embraces the void, knowing that clarity lives inside. It's not a fast process, it's not glamorous, but it's surgical. His reprogramming also involves brutal honesty. He doesn't lie to himself to feel better. He strips away narratives that no longer serve him. He deletes old programming, ideas of masculinity that are performative, of success that are hollow, of relationships that are dependency masked as connection. And when he emerges, the man walking out isn't brainwashed by anyone. He's dangerous because he's clear. He doesn't just think differently, he functions on a different OS3. Value inflation. The longer a Sigma male stays single, the more his value compounds, like a rare stock quietly climbing while others chase hype. You see, in solitude, he's not just passing time, he's investing it. Every hour not spent chasing attention becomes a resource directed towards self-enhancement. This is value inflation in real time. Most people associate value with external labels, money, looks, popularity. The Sigma shifts the equation. His value grows from depth, mental sharpness, emotional discipline, creative edge, spiritual grounding. He becomes rare, not because he tries to be, but because he chooses to work when others drift. No one's distracting him from the gym, from reading, from building income streams, from mastering silence. That energy that others pour into fleeting validation, he pours it into legacy. Here's the kicker. This value is invisible to the untrained eye. The Sigma isn't loud about his growth. He doesn't post progress. He doesn't overshare. That mystery adds to the inflation. While others become more predictable, more accessible, more online, the Sigma becomes more rare, more scarce, more potent. He becomes the kind of man people regret underestimating. And this value isn't just internal, it manifests externally over time. He gets sharper, more strategic, his money is better managed, his circle gets smaller and more elite. His energy is harder to access, his time becomes gold. So when others wonder why he's still single, the answer is simple: because he refuses to devalue himself for comfort. He knows temporary connection isn't worth permanent compromise. He knows most partnerships cost more than they bring. Until something matches the depth and value he's cultivated, he's content operating solo, as an asset, not an accessory. That's value inflation, quiet, steady, and undeniable. 4. The Ghost Protocol. There comes a point in a Sigma male's solitude where he stops participating in the noise altogether. He doesn't explain his silence. He doesn't announce his exit. He just fades into the algorithmic fog and becomes a ghost in plain sight. This is the Ghost Protocol, and it's not about avoidance. It's about strategy. You see, when a Sigma goes ghost, he's not lost. He's locked in. He's calculating, observing, planning. He's done with surface-level interaction. He sees through fake support, low-effort communication, and shallow motives. He doesn't call it out. He simply disengages. And when he vanishes, it makes people uncomfortable, because his presence never begged for attention, but his absence. It screams power. This stage of solitude is where the Sigma's influence actually grows. When he speaks less, people wonder more. When he posts less, people assume more. Mystery becomes a force multiplier. He doesn't chase attention, he redirects it. People confuse silence with weakness, but in the Sigma world, silence is a weapon. When you're ghosted by a Sigma, it's not a reaction, it's a response. It means the energy exchange wasn't worth it. It means he's focusing on higher-level moves that don't need an audience. The Ghost Protocol is also a filter. It reveals who's genuine, who reaches out when there's no performance to clap for, who respects boundaries instead of resenting them. The Sigma watches it all without a word, and one day, without warning, he'll reappear with better skills, deeper insight, and higher standards. Not to reconnect, but to remind the world, you never really saw him. You only saw what he let you see. That's the Ghost Protocol in action. 5. The no-code confidence. Most people build confidence from scripts, phrases they memorize, poses they copy, affirmations they chant in front of mirrors. But the Sigma male, he doesn't need code. He doesn't run on pre-written lines. His confidence is raw source energy, built from unfiltered experience, not artificial polish. This is what we call no-code confidence. When a Sigma is single for long enough, he stops needing external confirmation. He isn't relying on compliments, likes, dates, or flattery to feel grounded. There's no feedback loop fueling his ego. That makes him dangerous, because confidence with no dependencies? That's real power. This confidence grows in the shadows. It's forged during reps no one sees, early mornings no one celebrates, and sacrifices no one claps for. It comes from keeping promises to himself in silence, from not folding when no one's watching, from setting standards and upholding them even in isolation. While most people build their identity through relationships and groupthink, the Sigma sculpts himself alone. That sculpting hurts, but it also reveals. Without code to follow, the Sigma male is fluid but unshakable. He's not defined by trends or told how to present himself. He doesn't play social games because he doesn't need the win. He's centered, and when you're centered, the world's chaos can't pull you off balance. This is why people often mistake his vibe for arrogance. It's not. It's just that he's not fishing for reassurance. He already knows who he is. If he's in a room, it's because he chose to be. Not to impress, not to collect points, just to observe, maybe to influence. His body language speaks volumes because it's not rehearsed. It's built from stillness and self-trust. You can't fake that. You can't hack it with charm or lines. It comes from facing fear head-on, failing, recalibrating, and rising without applause. The Sigma doesn't overpromise or over-explain. He's not in the business of selling himself. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, he's already moved on. That's no-code confidence, unpolished, unfiltered, and untouchable. Sixth mission, lockdown. One of the most powerful transformations a Sigma undergoes in solitude is what I call mission lockdown. This is when distractions fade and purpose takes over. It's the tunnel vision state where the Sigma male stops reacting to the world and becomes obsessed with creating his own. When most people are spending emotional energy navigating relationships, texting, dating, arguing, compromising, the Sigma is channeling all that bandwidth into one direction, his mission. That mission could be building a business, mastering a craft, sharpening a skill, or creating a legacy. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is the singularity of focus, no half measures, no emotional leakage, no wasted hours. This isn't just productivity, it's spiritual warfare. Because staying committed to a mission without applause, without external motivation, takes internal fire most people don't have. Solitude makes that fire possible. There are no detours in mission lockdown, no weekends off for validation, no mental fog from mixed signals. Every second is calculated. The Sigma's schedule isn't based on comfort, it's based on consequence. He knows every task delayed is progress deferred. Every day distracted is one less step toward domination. He doesn't explain his absence. He doesn't owe anyone updates. While others think he's gone quiet, he's building. While they waste time seeking temporary highs, he's laying down permanent systems. This phase is also marked by deep sacrifice. Relationships fall off. Hobbies get paused. Noise gets muted. But instead of feeling lost, the Sigma feels locked in. Because chasing one clear goal is more satisfying than juggling 10 half-hearted ones. And the beauty of this stage, it compounds. Every win builds another. Every quiet breakthrough leads to louder results. By the time people notice the Sigma again, he's no longer at the starting line. He's built something real. And that's when they realize he wasn't missing, he was just underground, building the very thing that now outshines their noise. That's mission lockdown, obsession as evolution. 7. Discomfort mastery. The Sigma male doesn't just survive solitude, he weaponizes it. He doesn't numb the discomfort, he absorbs it, studies it, masters it. This is discomfort mastery, and it's one of the most important phases in the Sigma's solo evolution. Most people rush to escape discomfort. They fill it with noise, relationships, parties, distractions. But the Sigma sits in the silence and says, "Let's see what this really feels like." He doesn't flinch, he doesn't run, he leans in. And what he discovers in that space? Power. Because discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the gatekeeper. It guards transformation, and the Sigma learns to train within it. When his emotions are uncomfortable, he tracks them. When his habits slip, he resets them. When loneliness creeps in, he doesn't sedate it. He studies where it's pointing. This creates a type of internal armor most men never wear. The Sigma becomes comfortable being misunderstood, being alone, being doubted. He doesn't need comfort to function. He's now calibrated to tension, and because of that, he doesn't fold under pressure, he sharpens. You'll find him in cold showers, brutal workouts, focused routines, long days of grinding in silence. Not because it's trendy, but because he's building resistance to weakness. And the longer he does this, the less fear he holds. Fear of rejection, of failure, of pain. It starts to dissolve. He's not looking to avoid those things. He's trained for them. That's why when the pressure hits, he doesn't shatter. He smiles. He's already lived harder moments voluntarily. That's discomfort mastery, when pain becomes your sparring partner. 8. Selective bonding. After enough time alone, the Sigma male gains a brutal clarity. Most people are noise in disguise. He doesn't crave company, he curates it. This is what we call selective bonding. He no longer connects out of boredom, loneliness, or pressure. Every bond must earn its way in. Why? Because his time alone has shown him what peace feels like. And once you taste peace, anything less than intentional becomes a threat. The Sigma doesn't avoid connection, but he filters ruthlessly. He watches how people handle silence, honesty, and truth. He pays attention to tone, energy, depth. If someone brings confusion, he doesn't argue, he disconnects, fast. The bar is high because his solitude already gives him what shallow relationships cannot: clarity, calm, and control. He doesn't need someone to complete him, he needs someone who doesn't deplete him. This makes him hard to approach for many. He doesn't over-text, he doesn't over-explain. He speaks in precision, not performance. And if someone misunderstands that, he lets them. Selective bonding also means he'll go long periods with zero new connections and not feel an ounce of panic. Why? Because he's built a life where he's enough. That's what makes the few people who do earn his trust so powerful. They're rare, real, rooted, and because the Sigma has vetted them through silence, discomfort, and time, the bond isn't just strong, it's sacred. 9. Time bender mentality. There's one resource Sigma males protect more than anything: time. When he's single and in control of his time, the Sigma doesn't just use it, he bends it. This is the time bender mentality. The ability to extract maximum value from minimal hours. He's not watching 5 seasons of distraction. He's not burning time in fake urgency. He moves slow, but he builds fast. Because every move is calculated, every hour is weighted. While others are overbooked and underproductive, the Sigma is minimalist in schedule, maximalist in output. He plans in silence, operates in stealth, executes in speed. His calendar isn't cluttered, it's engineered. The time bender doesn't multitask. He time boxes, he batch processes, he removes emotion from the process and treats time like a weapon, sharp, direct, lethal to distractions. This gives him leverage. While most people feel like time is slipping away, the Sigma feels like he's bending it, creating more hours, more results, more clarity. And here's the twist. This discipline gives him freedom, because when you control your time, you control your life. 10th, reintegration. on his terms. Eventually, there may come a day when the Sigma male re-engages with the world, but it's never the same. He doesn't come back as the man who left. He comes back upgraded. This is reintegration on his terms. No more compromise, no more lowering standards, no more adjusting who he is to fit someone else's bandwidth. He's not looking for someone to fix or fill a void. He is the whole system now. He doesn't attach quickly. He doesn't move emotionally. If connection happens, it must align with his mission, not distract from it. This is why the Sigma often seems too detached or too focused. It's not detachment, it's control. He's done the work. He's carried the silence. He's rebuilt from zero. He won't throw that away for comfort. And if he chooses to bond, it's a power merge, not a dependency. It's a synergy of growth, not survival. He won't explain this to everyone. He doesn't have to, because his life is now proof of what solitude can build and what clarity demands. Ascenders, what you've just seen isn't a lifestyle. It's a system of personal evolution. The longer a Sigma male is single, the more he disconnects from noise and connects to truth. He doesn't just spend time alone, he multiplies in it. If you're on this path, don't let the world shame your silence or rush your pace. You're not behind, you're ahead where most refuse to go. Stay disciplined, stay surgical, stay unshakable. And if this resonated, subscribe to Sigma Ascends. This is where the wolves sharpen. Until next time, build quietly, strike with precision, leave no doubt.